Iran just fired the Sagel ballistic missile at Israel for the first time in this war, one of the most serious weapons in Iran's entire arsenal reserved for final stage escalation. They call it the dancing missile, not because of what it looks like, but because of what it does to missile defense systems. During last summer's war, fragments from a single Sagel warhead reached Israeli soil after the Arrow system failed to fully neutralize it. Now it is back in volume at the worst possible moment. On Sunday, the 15th of March, the 54th wave of Operation True Promise 4 escalated. Sirens went off across more than 140 locations in Israel, from Tel Aviv to Herzliya to the southern suburbs. Missile debris struck a residential building used by the U.S. consulate in Jerusalem. The debut of this monster weapon landed less than 24 hours after U.S. officials reported that Israel is running critically low on the interceptors built to stop exactly this kind of threat. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss the latest updates on the most dramatic geopolitical development happening around the world. Few minutes, I'm going to break down what makes the Sagel so hard to detect, and you'll see why the Israeli government approved $826 million in emergency defense spending on the same night. Here's what we know. The Sagel is not a conventional ballistic missile. It is a medium-range, solid-fueled, two-stage weapon. Here is why it matters. Most people hear ballistic missile and picture a weapon flying in one big arc, trackable and killable by a modern defense shield. The Sagel does not work that way. Its warhead carries it is called a maneuverable re-entry vehicle, descending at speeds above Mach 5. It does not follow a straight path. It continuously shifts direction unpredictably mid-air. This unpredictable motion is why they call it the dancing missile, deadly to defenses. It burns through interceptor stockpiles faster than any conventional missile ever could. We will return to why this specific problem could define Israel's crisis in war. The Sagel missile runs on solid fuel, allowing immediate launch from mobile launchers. It sits fully loaded, prepared to fire within minutes without any fueling trucks required. No lengthy preparation is visible to satellites, making early detection extremely difficult. Iran stated that from the city of Natanz, the Sagel reaches Tel Aviv in 7 minutes. Because it launches from trucks, not fixed sites, it survives even when bases are destroyed. The coalition has hit over 7,600 targets inside Iran since February 28th, yet it persists. The Sagel does not need any of them. Its mobility keeps it operational regardless. Iranian engineers reportedly coated the Sagel with radar-absorbent material to reduce its signature. Its radar cross-section is harder to detect on screens, track during descent, and kill. This creates a dual-layer problem. Both detection and interception are simultaneously degraded. Israel's Arrow 3 system, designed to hit targets outside the atmosphere, depends on precise tracking. A reduced radar signature shortens detection windows and compresses time to launch interceptors. Arrow 2, engaging targets inside the atmosphere, suffers similar degradation, compounded by maneuvering warheads. Active maneuvering occurs during terminal descent, making interception extremely difficult for defenders. Uzi Rubin, former director of Israel's Ballistic Missile Defense Organization, commented on its uniqueness. He argued that the Sagel differs from foreign missile designs more than previous Iranian systems. However, open-source assessments still suggest foreign assistance in Iran's missile development is likely. Development of the Sagel was believed to have begun in the late 1990s. It was first tested in 2008, again in 2009, and reappeared in Great Prophet 15, 2021. Analysts said the 2021 tests may have demonstrated upgraded guidance and maneuvering systems. What can be said confidently is the Sagel is now more mature and refined. What cannot be confirmed is whether the missile used in this war had GPS integration. Reports of a longer-range Sagel-free also remain unconfirmed at this time. Stay with me because the timing of this deployment collides with another critical crisis. On Saturday, March 14th, the American news outlet Semaphore reported from unnamed U.S. officials. U.S. officials stated Israel had informed America that interceptors were critically low in supply. Israel entered the war already short on Arrow-class interceptors after June 2025 conflict usage. the United States fired more than 150 interceptors during the 12-day engagement alone. According to CSIS, the current war's pace dwarfs that campaign, pushing systems to breaking point. One U.S. official described the situation as something we expected and anticipated. The math does not hold, and it gets worse. CNN confirmed Iran now equips missiles. Its ballistic missiles now carry cluster munitions. Roughly half of projectiles have these warheads. Recent Iranian launches have been cluster munitions dispersing around 20 to 24 bomblets. Systems like Iron Dome are not designed to clean up the entire dispersed pattern. At least 3 people were reported killed by these weapons, including 2 at construction sites. 12 people have died in total across the war due to ballistic missile strikes. Israel's high-altitude interceptors are under severe strain from Iran's newest weapons. These missiles are engineered to worsen strain by demanding multiple interceptors per inbound missile. Half of the inbound missiles now carry warheads that scatter smaller munitions simultaneously. Even if the main body is destroyed, 3 layers of pressure still converge on defense. Converging pressure hits a defensive system already depleted from earlier waves of attacks. When the first wave launched, the system was already stretched to near breaking point. Now consider contradictions in public projections from both sides regarding defense capabilities. Secretary Pete Hegseth stated on March 13 that Iran's entire ballistic missile production is defeated. The IDF claims 7,600 strikes inside Iran since February 28, with 1,100 in Lebanon. Human rights organizations reported this is an enormous volume of destruction affecting civilians and infrastructure. Iran responded with 54 waves, including debut of its most advanced indigenous missile system. This weapon requires precision, solid fuel manufacturing, sophisticated guidance, and maneuverable re-entry vehicle integration. In production, it has been functionally defeated, yet it still appears on the battlefield. This weapon should not exist on this battlefield, yet it is now deployed and operational. There are 2 explanations. Either the assessment is premature, or Iran retains full capability, or the coalition has not located the missile launch sites, and it used pre-war stockpiles. Iran is now reaching into its strategic reserves, estimated at 2,500 ballistic missiles of varying capabilities. The schedule of launches was deliberately withheld for the first 53 waves. That restraint was choice. Whether this signals strategic patience or desperation depends on unknown quantities in stockpiles. Israeli Defense Minister described the conflict on March 14 as entering a decisive stage. He declared Iran would be met with strong, unyielding, and uncompromising steel-like resolve. Iran's framing is the mirror opposite. President Masoud Pezeshkian calls retaliation legitimate and inevitable. Tehran sees no path to diplomacy, vowing to pursue Netanyahu and escalate the conflict further. Both governments project total resolve and inevitable victory, but both cannot be correct simultaneously. Evidence does not cleanly match either narrative. Consequences radiate outward to global markets immediately. Oil shipments through the Strait of Hormuz disrupted. Shipping insurers decline policies. Flights temporarily suspended. Energy markets are in turmoil. This war is not contained inside belligerent borders. It is repricing risk across the global economy in real time as uncertainty spreads. The plan from America and Tel Aviv relied on overwhelming air superiority to destroy enemy launch capabilities. The goal: destroy the ability to shoot back and force political collapse in Iran. Reality: Iran absorbs catastrophic damage but continues launching from dispersed, mobile, solid-fuel missile platforms. Solid-fuel missiles do not require facilities being bombed, making them extremely resilient to attacks. Israel's layered defense, Arrow for long-range, David Sling for mid-range, Iron Dome for close-in rockets. Stockpiles are under pressure from warheads designed to defeat layered defenses and cluster munitions. The dancing missile is now airborne, and the question remains, how many waves can defense sustain? Neither government has publicly confronted how many more waves the conflict can sustain before numbers run out.